All right, everybody, best behavior. So, yo, what's good, family? For those of you who do not know me, my name is Caesar Rivera, aka Caesar the God, as you see in the backdrop there. And I'm just so happy and grateful for Wednesdays because it is a time where we can really come together, come learn together, right? Be shoulder to shoulder with some of some of the best in the industry, whether it's some of our own goal life educators or some in the trenches with us, right? And so you already know who it is. I'm the boy who likes to yell a lot, but it's my boy on the 1 and 2s, right? My brother and my partner in crime. Yo, Kevo, what's good, bro? How you feeling tonight?
Yo, what's good, man? Money Heist. We live, baby. We live, man. Let's get it. Hope y'all having an amazing night, amazing day. It is currently 10 p.m. out here in Chicago, Illinois. Hold on, man. I gotta get the I can't do Money Heist without this shit.
Yo,
I gotta get
fuck with
the
it.
future shades on. But nah,
Sensational.
man, I hope y'all having an amazing week. How's everyone's week? You guys in profit, y'all getting clapped, y'all taking lessons, right? Let me know in the chat, man. I'm just happy to be here, bro. So let's get it, man. Let's run it up.
Yo, Kev, so I'm excited for tonight. Film. We were both looking at some clean plays today, even some from this week earlier. Do you, bro? I ain't gonna hold you to that. Is one professional ass microphone. Like, bro, you got me questioning my
No
whole.
cap,
Yeah.
bro, no cap. Ever since I got this new mic, bro, it's been like probably like a few weeks. But this shit got me feeling like a rapper, bro. I'm like, I have the whole mic now when I'm on Zoom calls. I be tapping in, man. Especially when I got these things on or the other joints on. I just be like tapped in. It's so fun.
Bro, you dead as look like Future Junior. I'm gonna start
You
calling
gotta
you.
invest in yourself.
Swear. Yo, so Kev, how you want to do? You
Because
want to play rock paper scissors for you to go first? Or you want me to go first? It's up to you,
yeah,
baby.
we can do hot potato, bro. If you want, you can start it off if you want. Because right now I got a couple of things I'm looking at. I'm looking at Euro, looking at odd, maybe some gold potentials. To be real, I haven't looked at indices until I haven't looked at them
Okay.
since this morning, bro. I really only look at them like basically right before I trade them, right before New York open. So whatever you got, bro, you can go ahead and if you want to, you can start it off this time.
Yeah, I got you, bro. So I'll go ahead and do indices, and since you got EU, some juicy lined up, I'll go ahead and let you do that. And do me a favor, please go over GU too, because that's my baby.
Do you?
Yeah, so that way I
Yeah,
don't got.
yeah.
I bet that you to go, bro. You to go. All right, bet family. So let's go ahead. If y'all tuned in, tap in. If y'all excited, let's go ahead and drop some 777s in this chat, and let's get this YouTube video out of here. Cool. All right. So I was looking at, let me review really quick. We put in the chat box over here. So any questions, guys, please, by all means, feel free to drop them in the chat box, right? Or unmute yourselves. It's really like a burning, itching, kind of, ooh, answer it, bro. I need the sauce, right? Because I really love to make these kind of calls interactive, right? A place where we can really come to learn together, grind together, right? And just bounce off of each other. So with all that being said, what I went ahead and did was I went ahead and I was looking at, I'm gonna move this over here actually. I was looking at SPX and NAS buys this morning simply because if we go ahead and just look back, SPX I think was the cleanest in all honesty. Yeah, let me go ahead and bring this up. Cool. So what we went ahead and did is if you understand your simple market structure, right? Pretty much what we're seeing is it was a low to a high, low, high, inner range to a higher high. So cool. High, high, lower low. Pretty much also right footsteps of the market, high, low, higher low, higher low. Well, what does this low do? We go ahead and create above. So high, low, higher high, retrace into a higher low. Kind of like a 4-hour imbalance, but we'll get about that sauce a little later, right? So let's price go ahead and do one more time. So here's the high, retraces low, inner range high, higher low though. So notice we don't go lower than this range, right? If anything, we come in, probably mitigate something here on a smaller time frame, maybe like the 1 hour. And what does price do? We go ahead and create a new higher high, right? So price is quite literally, if you're just gonna follow this, relatively simply, high, low, high, low, high. Let me go ahead and end that right there. Now, I don't care how advanced or how far you are in bounce back bootcamp, whether it's your first week, first day, or your first year, right? You can pretty much understand with pretty great confidence, right? Price should come back and respect this higher low. right? What does price do? From a low to a high, comes back, mitigates, creates a higher high. So what are we anticipating for price to do? It should come back, mitigate something here, and then continue higher, right? So that was the overall direction. Now, what actually ended up happening was, well, first, let's go ahead and see, okay, well, where is it then where we can go ahead and mitigate? And pretty much, just how some players, in the NBA, if you go from basket to basket, that's coast to coast, or if you play soccer, right, that's, box to box, right? What I was aiming was pretty much imbalance to imbalance. So what you can see here was there was actually a smaller minute time frame, but even on the hourly, you got some sauce here, right? We do have an hourly imbalance. So what I was looking for price to go ahead, some come in, right, start fulfill this imbalance, and then look for it to push higher, right? But I didn't want to just play it off of the imbalance. I love to play specifics, right? Now, for those of you who really have been tapped in for, bounce back for a little bit, right? Shout out to our educators in Trade House. You do understand that this website right here is crucial, right? So pretty much why I love trading Wyckoff or smart money is because of the simple 3 laws, right? Now there's 3 of them, but my personal favorite is the law of cause and effect, right? Simply meaning we take our trades because of something, right? There's reasoning behind the markets. There's logic behind the markets, right? So we're not just taking trades off of, okay, well, here's an imbalance. I don't know where to get in at the top of the imbalance, the fill at the imbalance, or the 50%, right? I love playing specifics, right? For a reason, the law of cause and effect, right? So we go ahead and we understand this is our hourly institutional candle, right? Imbalance to be fulfilled, but I want to be even more specific. We're going to go ahead and refine that to a 15-minute time frame. And what do you see right there, right? Let's go ahead and zoom in on this bad boy. Now you're gonna go ahead and see and understand that, well, if this is the downtrending market, and I'm just go ahead and make this easy, right? From a high to a low, to a high, to a low, to a high, to a low, to a high, to our lower low, and then price does this, right? Well, looking at structure, high, low, high, low, high, low. Here was our last high that created our last low before price went ahead and does what? It goes and breaks that downtrending structure, right? Break of structure. Now we have an uptrending structure, right? Well, what does that uptrending structure follow overall? It's following, remember how we were seeing that 4-hour, 1-hour, bullish order flow, that buying order flow? That's exactly what it was respecting, right? So we understand that this is a great area of demand, or just a great area of interest, right? A POI, point of interest, right? So again, really understanding why we take the trades the way we do. Well, here's a break of structure. Well, where was our last down movement? Well, it was these 2, right, down push candles. Awesome. Let's refine that even more. Is there an imbalance, right, created from this? And yes, there is an imbalance. I'm gonna get rid of that, right? There is an imbalance created after the last push down. Price comes, breaks, sweeps some equal lows. Go ahead and put that face, right? And then what does it do? It starts to push above, breaking not only this high, but this high, and this high, right? So a major impulse, right? For those of you who've been following John Fitz for a little bit, price moved with what? Conviction, right? With reasoning, with movement. This is the footprints of the markets. So what I went ahead and did is, right, understanding that if this is my last push down candle, this is going to be my area of interest, right? This candle right here. Now, why, we can get into a lot of details as to why, but pretty much, long story short, if you guys are seeing bounce back, it's going to be in phase 3, like one of the first 3 episodes. It's called Sniper Entries by ours truly, right? Iffy, right? Viva Valentino, the GOAT we had on last week, bro. He literally goes into why institutional candles within imbalances are such key areas of interest, right? So that was my first entry. This is why I was going to go ahead and play this candle, right? So overall, looking for about a 4.9 to 1, right? R&R. Right. So, okay. Well, put that back right now. I'm gonna highlight the 9:30 New York Open candle. We'll get to that in a minute. So what does price go ahead and do? We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna activate this play. Awesome. So price gets activated right at the wick. Then we get drawdown. Yeah, there we go. So price goes ahead and we now are active, right? We can't argue, right? Estamos activo. Cool. So what happens here? Well, all right, let's play the games of, let's play the order flow, right? Start reading this market movement. What happened here? Well, price, right, starting to come down, retracement. We'll go like this, right? High into a low, retracement high, into a low, retracement high, into a low, retracement high, into a low. So what is it that price can respectively, let's go ahead and let's get this a little, cleaner. If we are just creating a low, retracement to mitigate, and then create a new low. What is it that we can anticipate price to do? Well, we can anticipate that price has reason from this area on a higher time frame to start to go up, but we have an area interest, right? An institutional candle here, right? Notice the imbalance, very, very faint, right? We have reason for price to come up into here and then do one or two things. We either create a low, or we can respect the higher time frame, you know, imbalance and everything to the left. Because remember, the left creates, the right fulfills, right? In order to get right in the markets, you have to look left, right? So are we going to respect what was created on the left, or are we going to go ahead and just disregard that and aim for sales off of this area? Well, this is why I went ahead and saw, right? Understanding that this is where price can go ahead and come to mitigate. Price is going to go ahead, right? Enter us, go from a high. Let's look at the true order flow. From a high to a low, retrace my high. That's what the up candle means, to a new low. And what this price does, boom, it breaks, right? We went ahead and we broke internal structure, right? Let's go ahead and just mark that there real quick. Cool. Right? Do you see how it's a high to a low, to a retracement high, to a lower low, and we no longer are respecting the downtrending movement, right? Price created a higher high, not a lower high, but a higher high. So now price is showing signs of reversal. Well, based off of that, that's what went ahead and gave me, you know, pretty much conviction or reasoning to go ahead and stack up orders on this sell, right? Understanding that price was going to come into here. We'll just go from the low, right? Price is going to come into this institutional candle that we highlighted, come back, play our last down candle, and then start to go higher, right? So I went ahead and started to stack orders on the initial buy that what was created from the left. So we went ahead, right? We play it. New York Open happens. We come into contact. Actually, go back a little bit, right? Price comes up, respects that candle, comes back, activates those 15 minutes, and then it starts to run in our favor, right? So cool, right? Price all around did run to not like significantly highs, right? I just missed my TP by about 3 pips, right? It happens, it is an issue, but whatever. This is why we trail our stop loss, right? Trailed my stop loss accordingly, based off of market structure. What up, and then boom, right, tagged out. So all around was able to snag a 3-to-1 on the stacked order, but an additional 2.96, so like around 6 R&R overall, right? Just based on what was created on the left was fulfilled on the right. Then we just go ahead and refine it, or, you know, really just look for confirmations within the structure, from the structure, right? So that was SPX. I'll go ahead and look at what's happening after. I just want to review NAS as well. This was a trade. She tagged me out. She hit me at break even. So pretty much what happened here was, oh yeah, we got you. So we're understanding structure, right? And this was a little more choppier, so I might have to go for a hard time for to make it clearer. Cool. So, right, if we look at structure, we understand that here was our low, we push above a high, and then we start to play a little bit of consolidation, right? Peter patterns, or, you know, just pretty much like very minimal movements within the market. Understanding we have a daily imbalance here that needs to be fulfilled, or doesn't need to, right? Because as Mark Douglas says, the market could do whatever, whenever, however. Once you understand that, you will become a profitable trader. So it doesn't need to come up into this imbalance, daily imbalance. I would love for it to, but it doesn't need to, right? So understanding that I was bullish on this momentum, right? Wanting to come a little higher, right? Started to refine it. Here's our low into our high, right? Lowest low, better equal lows. But then what's price do from here? Well, here's our high into our lower low, and we're trying to push above, right? Not sure. Here. Cool. So, right, just looking for logic and reasoning as to where it could come back to mitigate before kind of looking for that higher push, right? Could price come low into here? Could it come down here, right? Really looking for where we can mitigate before pushing higher, right? Getting that final move. So, you know, just keep refining it. We see pretty much here is a 4-hour institutional candle, right? We have a low to a high to a low, right? Inner range high, higher low that creates that higher high, right? So I wanted to see if price would respect, you know, this kind of wick. Now, the issue was although yes, we had an institutional candle here, you know, price was just a bit ugly. For price to just go ahead and respect this, right? So I did honestly want to see us come down, sweep or kind of tag that lower low before running higher, or that low before running higher, right? And that's exactly what happened. So we can go ahead and play that, right? So price comes lower before starting to reverse. So cool. Let's break that down. What happens here? Cool. So again, understanding order flow. This is the 4-hour low liquidity that, you know, was preferred to be taken, did not have to be, but what was preferred. If we look at structure, right, here's the high to the low, to the high, to the low, to the high, that creates that push down lower, right? So here's our trading range, the high that created that low. So here's our low. Until one or the other is broken, then we don't have another range, right? We're just pretty much following the order flow or consolidating, right? Playing inner range. So what happens here? Price is going to go ahead and we break that high here, right? Awesome. So price breaks. What does that mean? Now, that pretty much means that price is looking for signs of reversal. Not only do we sweep liquidity, but now we're starting to break some lower time frame internal structure, right? Do we have reason for price to go ahead and climb higher? Well, not only do we have the daily and the 8-hour, but we also have some equal highs here, right? Some equal highs here, right? And then definitely, you know, liquidity up in here, right? So 3 areas of liquidity to go ahead and be taken. So let's go ahead, right? What did price pretty much give me? What did it show? Right? Price is going to go ahead. Now, comes in, mitigates our low candle, right? Our lowest low. So as long as it doesn't break it, right? As long as it doesn't go any lower, we're not in a selling structure, right? We already have signs from the internal breaker structure that we are looking to go higher, right? We created a higher high, not a lower high. We're not creating a lower low, we're creating a higher low. What does price do? Respects, and we start to run up, right? Yeah, boom, right? So let me go ahead and back this one up real quick. What does price do? Well, we have our low, we have our higher low, and here's our last push down candle. So I was going to go ahead and see if price was going to respect this candle here, right? What do? We come into that candle and boom, next candle, boom, right? Shoot off. So we're respecting structure. We have a low into a higher low into a higher low. Now at this point, this is where I'm gonna go ahead and take, you know, this was a 15-minute entry, right? Really aiming at that body right here. Low being this candle that was respected, right? The mitigation, and price does not tag that one in. I honestly just missed that one by a literal, like, you can't even like literally like not even a pip. Like literally it was the most stupidest, like spread did not even get me in. I was so tight. So, right, that's how we went ahead and, you know, looking for the first snipe. Now, if we notice here, price not only missed that trade, right, but then it starts to run, comes back. Does it respect this candle here? It does, right? So we have a lower low that got respected by a higher low, that gets respected by a higher low, that gets respected on that 15-minute higher low, that gets respected on that 1-minute higher low, right? So we're just creating steps and steps and steps up in the market, literally giving us more and more confirmations that we're looking to go bullish. And this is when I went ahead and took this trade here, right? Pretty much on the 1-minute time frame. Right, here's our last down push candle. Stop loss just at, you know, the low here. Boom, right? And what does price do? It does come in, it does tag me. There we go, right? Just missing stop loss, so like, you know, thank God. But it doesn't run off entirely in my favor, right? I did get hit out at break even at some point. I think it was just like the difference in brokers between TradingView and MetaTrader. But right, so this trade, these trades could have ran for a 13-to-1 and a 16-to-1 all in all. But first one missed, second one did stop me out at break even. So, you know, it is what it is at that point. Happy and grateful that I follow my trading plan. But this is how you can go ahead and really just get those juicy kind of trades, right? Those great R&Rs are all around, you know, just low risk, high reward kind of trades, right? And just, you know, start shooting off. Cool. So those were the two trades I was really looking at today. Now, understanding where we are, like what did market create now going forward, it's kind of funny, right? I'll go ahead to US 30 first because this is the first one, and then Kev, I got you. So pretty much what I saw here was, if we look at the order flow for US 30, right? Well, understanding the daily, we are playing into this institutional candle, right? This supply area. So I was wanting to see what is the evidence that the market is giving us, on lower time frames. Well, we see here how, what's your rules for moving stop loss? Yo, your face, bro. For those of you oh, my rules for moving stop loss, if you're so concerned, Tom, is whenever market moves to a 1-to-1 R&R, that's when I look to go ahead and move my stop loss to break even, right? Logic being behind that is, if you're risking, whether it be 0.5%, 1/4%, 1% of your account, and price activates your trade and then runs to your favor, giving you your initial risk back, why leave that money on the table, right? So that's when I'll go ahead and move it, at a 1-to-1 R&R, because price already gave me my money back. There's no need to be greedy. This is the tastiest trading sauce. Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. So looking at what was happening with US 30, understanding this was daily supply levels. Well, what was happening on lower time frames? High, low, into a high, low, right? Institutional candle into a high, right? Kind of gets mitigated and then pushes higher, right? So I was interested to see, well, what's happening here to give us evidence if we can go higher, right? Break this daily range, or we're going to respect it and go lower, right? What happens here, right? Still a 4-hour institutional candle that, personally, I play body, so I would love to see this get played. Now, whether price will go from here and respect it, or if price is just going to go ahead and disrespect it, no idea, right? But I do understand that price has a pretty decent probability of coming to this area, right? So that's when we start, playing around with more confirmation. So that was a 4-hour. What I saw here, right, and this is where you really started to get the pew eyes. If this is our low into the high, retracement low, higher high, what does price do? Price literally comes down, retraces to where? Mitigates our institutional candle. Let me go ahead and delete this, right? Make it cleaner. This is why I have this black candle here, or black line here, because price from a high to a low to a high, it drops, fails to create a lower low, whatever, trend line liquidity, but price then retraces into our 4-hour institutional candle before doing what? Retraces, mitigates, and starts to drop off again, right? So we're starting to get evidence of price to drop again, right? Here is our high, price drops, retraces into that 4-hour level, and then drops off again. Comes back up not once, but twice, doesn't create a higher high anywhere. If anything, it's kind of respecting that high to low, trading range. So we're getting more and more evidence for price for US 30, at least to start going lower than reversals back higher, right? Maybe into this 1-hour imbalance. So there really was like no clear cut entry for me to call out here, but I do think we are going to be playing for London, at least within this kind of range here. Now, whether it comes back up and mitigates anything on lower time frame, I really don't know, because that's just wicks, right? Nothing really too clear cut, but I do think overall we will be selling into our 4-hour zone on the bottom here. So, maybe something for NAS or for New York will set up for us tomorrow during London. NAS pretty much the same eyes, pretty much because, again, right, if we look at order structure, well, what happened on the 4-hour, right? Let's just zoom out. Well, here is our low, here is our high. Here's where we went ahead and started to take some buys, right, on this push up candle. But what did this candle and this candle do? Well, they came to fulfill the 4-hour imbalance. And now what is the evidence they're starting to give us, right? They're starting to give us clear signs of reversal. So cool. Is that of concern? Not really right now, just because, right, where could it potentially go to? It could potentially go to this 4-hour institutional candle, right? And that's when we start playing the game of probabilities. Is it going to go higher, or is it just going to drop off the face of the earth, right? No idea. But, correlating NAS with US 30, it does show signs that we could potentially drop lower, maybe sweeping some of these kind of liquidities, finishing off the imbalance here, or even, higher time frame liquidity that should, that could be taken for the end of this week, right? Really playing into our daily area, right? I mean, it would kind of make sense because we did play all in all into our weekly level, right? So we could start seeing retracement from the high, down into our daily or even weekly levels as well, right? So I am a little more bearish than bullish. Sabiano 1-3, yes, correct. So see, so again, right? So I am more bearish than bullish on indices, and finally SPX, right? We did kind of, so here's the range, right? Here's our high, retrace lower, comes to a high, and then some inner range movement, kind of mitigating something on a lower time frame before breaking. So that's why I didn't really consider this as our range high, but I considered this week as our range high. Still did respect it on the daily. Cool. What did the 8-hour or lower time frame show? Well, after we went ahead and caught some pretty saucy buys on the 4-hour and 1-hour, right? Where's price really go? If we look at it, here's our low that came into our high. We dropped, respected, so created from a low to a higher low to a higher low. Cool, sick. But then why did our higher low not create a higher high, right? Interesting. So we're starting to get evidence as for price mitigating our 4-hour institutional candle, just missing our 1-hour institutional candle, and giving us evidence as to dropping. Now, granted, could we go ahead and again, right, play into our 4-hour institutional candle? Absolutely, right? The 1-hour even as well. Something a little lower. Let me go ahead and grab this one, right? Again, just like looking at the all-around schematic, I mean, I kind of feel more bearish than bullish on indices themselves, but I wouldn't mind, looking for re-entry buys here to finish the job on SPX at least. So all in all, I do think indices are going to be dropping for London tonight for any of you who are looking to play it, right? Looking into some key areas in the 4-1 hour and even daily on NASDAQ, right? But there's no real clear entries or anything at this time. Maybe we can go ahead and I think SPX actually had like a pretty decent entry right here. So reason being just because price went ahead, dropped, we created some equal highs along the way, right? Pretty much like right here. So price retraced up, and then what it do? Went ahead and broke structure lower. So we could potentially see some sells on SPX in this area, pretty much taking it to our 1-hour institutional candle. That wouldn't be bad, right? Because we also did on this run up wick, we did come to fill this imbalance here. Right, so that actually wouldn't be too bad, right? Play a nice 5-1 into our hourly time frame. Who knows? Who knows? That could be pretty saucy, right? I mean, it makes even more sense when you keep looking at it, staring
I
at it,
like that, bro.
right? Like,
yeah,
you got an imbalance right here to be played into. I don't know. I might take this live, bro. I'm gonna sound alert.
pull the trigger, man. I'm also I'm bullish on indices,
Okay.
but like short-term bearish as well. Like I want to see like for example with NAS I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah.
I think like on the 4-hour it's pretty clean. Like we had that nice like liquidity grab, and then it left that imbalance that it just filled, and now it's like starting to roll over.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot of like liquidity to aim to the downside. So like that's kind of what I'm looking at. And there's also a nice like little 4-hour institutional candle at the end, like at the bottom of the range. If you keep the 4-hour. So I don't know if we'll fall all the way down there. But if we do, that'd be decent. That'd be decent.
Yeah, no, who knows? I don't know. I kind of like SPX, bro. Here, I mean, that's my plays of the day brought to you by Money Heist. Kev, by all means, you want the 6, bro?
Hey, let's get it. Hey man, you went crazy though, bro. For real, man.
Appreciate you.
Yo, guys, give it up for C's because he just went crazy. Give him some round of applause. My man got them some major. But let's get it, man. I'm gonna, go over a couple things with y'all. Go over a couple things. Get that real quick. Boom. Cool. Yeah, this is what I was looking at for NAS that I was talking about. I like this point of interest for the buys because we have all this liquidity here. We have this liquidity there. And then like, yes, I'm bullish, but like, no, we had this liquidity sweep right here. Then we had all of this liquidity. Delete that. That got grabbed as well. We had that right there. Boom. We had this 4-hour institutional candle. Then we had just that aggressive, like this impulse move down, right? And we have some internal liquidity right here. And then we just, like feel this imbalance right up in there as well. So like to me, just kind of playing current price action, I want to continue seeing this, take out this liquidity and then see how price plays. I want to see make a deeper retracement to continue buying up. But we'll see if we get that right. I want to see where price action, what price action looks like during New York session tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday, so we still got a couple more days left in the week. But that's kind of what I'm looking at. To me, this is like just like distribution. But we'll see what's good. We'll see what's good. S&P, you already went over that. US 30, I caught a nice little short. I don't know if anyone else caught the New York Open sells. That thing that was like crazy. I can kind of just explain that real quick. But what I was looking at was, go back real quick. Boom. Personally, I was just like, seeing all this liquidity. So I like trading off of like liquidity, like where is liquidity and where is like imbalance institutional candles, right? Once I have my directional bias, then from there is like, where is like the money at? And what I was peeping was, we had this trend line, right? All this liquidity. And then to me, this just candle kind of just stuck out at me. So, this area, but I was like, this is also liquidity. So I was more aiming just taking a from this imbalance right up in here. But I was like, just to be safe, I'll just play it from here because it's not too much further up anyways. So I took it off there, stop above this high. And then once we got that New York Open move, thing just wicked it. Like it was so fast. Like I was taking the sell on my phone and like price is already here. And it's like, I got an even better entry. I got lucky, honestly. But like I had a saucy entry and then this thing just ripped like to the downside pretty fast compared to the other indices. US 30 just blessed today. This thing ran for like a 1 to 3, like pretty fast for what from where I got in. And then right at around a 1 to 2, I just took like 80% of my profits off the just off the top. I just secured the bag and then moved my stop to break even. And then the rest of the price action was just kind of like choppy the rest of the day. So I kind of just like left it alone. I took my bag and then just chilled. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of go over that with y'all and go ahead and actually review the DXY. So I'm bullish on DXY. I'm thinking DXY we can see higher movement. If we like come out here to the 4-hour. One thing I want to like explain real quick as well is like we all know like order flow, right? Once we identify trend and direction and like identifying like the smart money concepts, it's like it's fairly easy, right? You can see like once you get a good range, you start playing off in imbalances, institutional candles. So one thing that I've noticed when it comes to order flow is that you usually get like 3 good like taps, right? And then anything over like anything past 3 is kind of like, all right, like if you're taking a trade, like after that 3rd tap, it's a little bit more higher risk because like the more taps you get when you're creating like that order flow, it's just creating like a trend line, right? It's creating that liquidity. So right now I'm thinking, DXY, I want to see it come and raid all this liquidity. It's just too obvious and too easy. And we also have these equal highs right here as well. So if we drop down to the 1 hour, we have this imbalance still right here left behind. We have this triline liquidity right here as well. So what I want to see is I want to see us, whether if we get this push down to raid this trend line liquidity and then get the push higher to all this liquidity to the upside. That's kind of what I want to see for DXY. Will we get that move? I don't really know. Will it happen? I would love to see that, right? we could easily just continue going higher from here. Doesn't have to do that, but I'm just kind of like, that's what I'm anticipating right now. So with that information now, I'm kind of expecting some similar stuff, but like vice versa for like AU and EU. So actually we can go over EU first. So with EU, back to the 4 hour. We good. 1 hour. Okay, cool. So with EU, right, I'm gonna actually go down to like the 15th. EU was actually giving really clean price action up in here. You can see like clean, liquidity sweeps, right? That's that last buy to sell, right? Basically made a new low. Right? I don't always wait for break of structure every time I confirm, to take a trade after. So like once it like, we had that liquidity sweep, and then we had this, something, some people call it like a displacement, but basically what that means is just like you have an aggressive move, right? And usually it leaves an imbalance. So once we see that, I'm like, all right, bet. Like, I don't really need the break to confirm it, but I would like that. That's just like extra to me. But once we saw that, right, you could have played the sells up in here, and you got a nice sell off, right? And we eventually, we had a slow grind, we're tracing back up. And then now we're within this imbalance, right? We're playing within this liquidity, this imbalance. So now we're seeing the similar type of price action right there as well. So, we had liquidity being built up right here. We had a liquidity raid right here that swept this lick right here. Boom. Right there. Sweet. Boom. And then, let me zoom in a little bit more. Kind of toss that up there. All right, cool. And I think that always confirms like institutional movements for me is an imbalance right after it. So we see this imbalance right up in here. Yeah, I'll even draw another line right there too. And another thing I love seeing is I love seeing internal liquidity, right? Resting right below, your points of interest. To me, that's just like I don't know, it's just reeling in, retail traders. It's kind of like in like Tom and Jerry, or like I guess I don't even know like the example I'm trying to say. I guess like a rat trap, like the cheese is right there. It's so enticing, you want to grab it, you go for it, and then you just get clapped, right? So that's kind of what happens with like retail traders stuff, right? They leave all that money there. I mean, you could have still bagged off that trade, I ain't gonna lie, but eventually, that is money that is going to come and get collected. So price did come back into that, and then now we're seeing a reaction from there. So now playing with like more relevant price action right now, what I'm looking at is cool. We had a pretty nice reaction, right? We're seeing a lot of good volume as well. Once we're seeing this bearish movement, we had this imbalance right there as well. We just came into that, we feel that, and we're seeing another reaction. So right now, maybe during London, we could see shorts, but I was seeing this, I was peeping this imbalance right here. And we're currently like tapping into it. So I kind of want to see some sells within here to take this thing lower. But if that doesn't play out, and we just continue, we take out this high, then we're just gonna go straight for all of this liquidity right here, right? So if we break this high, then we're just gonna eat this liquidity, and then we could probably maybe see sells up in here, right? So just staying with current price action, I like this imbalance because this is all already like balanced, right? This is healthy, I guess you could say, right? Price action. So to me, it's like, all right, this is the next like objective, and then we can continue taking this to the next point of interest, right? So this is like, I guess, like your low hanging fruit, you could say. And we go to the 1 hour. We have this imbalance right here as well. So that's what I want to target, was this imbalance. It's my first target. And then ultimately, this low, and then oops, on the 4 hour, take out maybe this low, and then we have this imbalance right here. And we have this 4-hour institutional candle as well. So that's kind of what I'm seeing with EU. I know C's wanted me to go over GU, so we can go over GU. Let's see what's good with GU. I thought GU was your babe, bro. Like I thought you and GU were like that.
Baby boy, nah, she is. Just here's the thing, like I'm a little lazy. Like you
Toxico,
can right on the stick, so like you got it. I appreciate you.
La toxica, bro. She's for the streets. But GU, I'm kind of seeing similar price movement right now. I want to look for buys within, discounted prices. So if we use, a little premium discount, anything below, 50% of this range, consider discount, right? So I want to kind of wait for discounted prices to start looking for like the massive buys. We also have this internal liquidity. We have this imbalance, and we have this 4-hour candle that grabbed that liquidity. So I'm kind of waiting for that as well, something like that. So I want to see lower price movement ideally, and then wait for our accumulation, our bullish order flow within our points of interest, and then take this thing higher. So that kind of aligns with the DXY if we think that it's going to go higher. Now the question is, where are we going to find sells for GU? That's the question right now. Two things right now, right? This we're in an interesting area. I don't like any of this shit, honestly. It's kind of ugly. I want to kind of wait to see, where we rate first, right? Whether, because we could potentially buy off of this area, and we could potentially sell off of, we have this imbalance right up in here as well. And this is just like being toxic right now, she's being indecisive. She doesn't know what she wants. Oh man, but you could play both sides. So I'm just gonna take the good old Fibbo, and then mark out the kill zone, right? So his last push down, basically, if we sweep these lows, then we can, maybe set up for some buys. But if we sweep the highs first, and we position ourselves for some shorts right here. But yeah, ultimately I would love to see price go lower. That's kind of what is in alignment with like my bias, the DXY. But yeah, that's good. That's cool for what I'm looking at basically for GU. Gold is interesting as well. I want to see gold continue selling off. I want to see it continue selling off. We do have this massive imbalance right here as well. So just got to be cautious. If we do get accumulation, this thing could just rip. That gold likes to do that sometimes. Like it'll give you like an obvious, like, yo, we're gonna sell. And then it gives you a little sell and it just goes like crazy. But just following, price action. Yo, there were some solid sells right here. Honestly, I want to show you guys. It's probably one of the last things I'll show you guys. Imbalances are so fire. Like I love, like, imbalances are probably like one of my favorite things to play now. So we had price action, we had some imbalance fills right here, and then we had a little bit of distribution right up in there, and we actually go to 5 minutes. 5 minutes, a little more clear. So once we have that drop off and price is just like slowly building its way back up, walking itself back up. I think I saw somebody actually take these gold buys this week in that one shot. I don't know who that was. I think I saw someone. Shout out to that person. That's a nice buy. But once we got back up into this range, we actually, boom, right. Once we got back within this range, we retraced back. Notice how we came and we grabbed this liquidity, right? Like liquidity is so key, so key. And another thing I wanted you guys to know, once we did retrace up back into that range, notice how, price is making higher highs, But notice how volume is dropping, right? Yes, we're going higher, but volume is dropping. So there's not a lot of actually buying pressure really coming into the market. So now, with that in mind, right? With both those things, right? Structure and then like kind of just like losing that pressure. You can see that, okay, cool. We're making like we're starting to make that distribution. We had this displacement, right? That imbalance. You retrace right into it, right? This is why like I don't always wait for that break, because you're not always gonna get it every time. Sometimes it just grabs liquidity. Like sometimes price just wants to grab liquidity and then make the move, right? It's not always gonna come back all the way to your order block or imbalance. But in this case, we feel that imbalance pretty nice. And then got a retracement, and now we're making moving lower. And we had this last up for the down move candle. If you even like keep this right up in here, we had an imbalance right here as well. Boom, hit that. We had a nice move from that imbalance and that order block. And then right here as well, we had another imbalance. This last push up to candle. So you could have played either or imbalance or the candle. And then now you're seeing a reaction from there. You see this little imbalance right here. We saw a reaction from that. Now we're seeing, this imbalance. Saw a reaction from that as well. So there was like so many opportunities. Once you have your directional bias, like the rest of it is kind of is like simple. I don't want to say it's easy, but it's a little more simple. It's just identifying those imbalances in order blocks. So now where we're at, we're tapping into this imbalance right up in here as well. Boom. Right, we just tagged the 50%. We feel, majority of that imbalance. To me, this is pretty nice right now because we did grab all this lick as well. We ate that liquidity up, boom. Look at that. And so one thing I want to actually peep, I'm gonna actually hop on the 15-minute, is I want to see like a nice imbalance right up in here. So we have this imbalance right here. So this is actually kind of like, it's not bad. It's not bad. So I would like to see some shorts off of here. Let me actually go down a smaller time frame. Maybe we can get something a little better. To me, that's kind of the cleanest one, is a 15-30-minute. So if we can get that shorts within here, start looking for shorts. And then if we can get that extra confirmation, that would be beautiful too. And then take it to minimum this imbalance. And then if you want to try to swing it, manage your trade, trail your stop loss, do that whole thing, right? Break even. If we get these shorts and we're in profits, I would ultimately like to take it to this point of interest down right here within this range. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking. I want to see something like that. You're gonna swing it, or back into that imbalance, but nah, man, that's kind of everything I got for you guys. If you have anything, if anyone that's tapped in on the call tonight, if y'all have anything y'all looking at, if you want to drop your markup in the chat, or if you want to share your screen, if you want to show us what's good. I always like seeing what you guys are looking at as well. I'm gonna check the chat, see what's good. Excuse me. That's easy barbecue dinner. When support ain't supported. The footprints of the banks, yes, sir, yes, sir. Absolutely, bro. All right, cool. Seems like y'all are good, man. Don't be shy, though. Don't be shy. But all right, right on. Steve, I don't know if you got anything else, bro. You're looking at in the markets.
Yo, real quick, I ain't gonna hold you. I always follow your plan, but like this trade is here, so I'm kind of like just looking at So lower time frame, confirmations. I'm interested to see if SPX will respect this, imbalance range to create go lower. If it does, cool. If not, hey, it is what it is. But yeah, no, Kev, I appreciate you for always being tuned in, tapped in, giving the sauce where needed, bro. Feel me? Because that shit was lit. Yo, family, if y'all got some blessings from that, some breakthroughs, some all around value, drop some 777s for my boy, my brother Kevo. And bro, yo, I'm excited. Just keep running this up. Appreciate the love. Yo, I appreciate you, Kev, just consistently running this up.
Love y'all.
Man, they say, what's the saying? If you want to go far, if you want to go, yeah, you want to go far, go by yourself. But if you want to go like great beyond, if you want to go,
Nah, that's if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you
yeah,
want to go far, go together.
that's it. That's it, baby. So, yo, okay, I appreciate you for doing this with me. I'm excited for next week. Yo, family, I appreciate y'all for tuning in, tapping with us. It is 12:05, so we're gonna go ahead and move this call forward here. If y'all love the values, the breakthroughs, all around, the sauce that we look to get onto you guys, be sure to go to your group chats, right? Let them know what they missed out on, and be on the lookout for the recording, right? We do have a YouTube where this will be dropped. Be sure to subscribe, check it out, right? We will get everything just up and running with the socials along as well. But Kev, bro, I'm good if you good, bro.
Let's get it, man.
Say
Let's
that.
wrap it.
Pray that family. So as always, stay patient, stay disciplined, and the gains will come. Yo, we out. Good night, family.